kind of people at the top, what do they look like? This is Dorothy in her heyday. Dorothy Donor, yeah? Wasn't she great? She was the person that we knew would respond in precisely predictable percentages to our direct mail appeals. We send out 2 million, make a fortune. She was great, because she was raised in the 50s when people did what they were told. Yeah? People born in the 60s and 70s and the 80s don't do what we're told. More difficult. Okay? The only way we could target Dorothy was demographics. Yeah? There were some really, really complicated targeting factors involved in communicating with Dorothy. Yeah? We knew she was a woman. And we knew she was old. And we knew she lived in a house. And based on that knowledge, we could make huge profits. Pretty sophisticated stuff, wasn't it? The changing psychographics of the population. Yeah? So demographics have changed. There are going to be a lot of people that look demographically like Dorothy, i.e. they're going to be women, they're going to live in houses, and they're going to be the same age that Dorothy was before she started dying, but they're going to think completely different to Dorothy. Because half of them don't have a husband and 2 kids, and half of them don't stay at home and do the vacuuming like they do in the adverts. They're very, very different people. Yeah? And quite a lot of them now are men. It's not just Dorothy, so the way they think has changed. The emotions that they respond to have changed. If the majority of people are at the bottom, then the emotion that drives their reaction there is predominantly fear, which in fundraising terms translates itself to giving emotions of duty and guilt, and nothing else. Basically, give us some money and that bad feeling you've got will go away. Now, a lot of people just don't have that bad feeling. You must have some politicians say, young people today have no sense of duty. Yeah? Do you know what? They're right, and do you know what? It's a good thing. Because that's what we fought for the last 80 million years for, is we don't have to feel like that anymore. It's a good thing. They've got vastly more knowledge. One, because of the education over the last 30 years has been so much better and so widely spread, and also there's so much information available. We're bound to have more knowledge. And the way that human relationships are managed are completely different. People don't live with their parents as long as they used to do. People don't get married as young as people have kids as young as they used to. People interact with their friends differently. So the whole behaviour is totally changing. She's got different interests. Our donor of the future, our supporter of the future. Okay? She's got completely different access to information. When was the last time here somebody used the yellow pages? Yeah? When was to yellow page something ever become a verb? Yeah? Or to microfiche something? Yeah? Or even to library it? Yeah? To Google something, to find information is now a verb. It's astonishing. Okay? She's got a very much shorter attention span. Yeah? Like to spend the evening sitting down reading a good book. Yeah. Quick check on my iPhone and see it's online. Yeah? Because everything's happening faster, people's attention spans are shortening. Schools are finding this. It used to be 40 minutes, a child's attention span. It's now about 20 minutes. Okay? There's so much more clutter. How much more information? How many more marketing messages? How many more communications do we get? You used to have a week to respond to a letter if you were in business. Now if someone asks you for budget approval, you don't get back within an hour, they take personal offence that you're ignoring them. Yeah? The sheer volume of stuff coming at you is enormous. Okay? And then the speed, as I've just described, the speed you have to take in information, process it, make a decision, and move on to the next thing has got so short. And what happened is that Dorothy, good old Dorothy, she's saved the world pretty much on her own for a good 40 or 50 years, is gradually shuffling off this mortal coil, and she's being replaced by the intellectually more interesting, but marketing-wise much less predictable Selina. Yeah? And Selina is not a donor. She doesn't consider herself a giver to charity. She considers herself a supporter of causes that she believes in. Yeah? And she will go and throw bricks at the police, she will change her shopping habits, she will change her friends, and she will give money depending on the single issue that she believes in. We're at the moment in the middle of this digital leap, and because of our limited knowledge of how to use technology to advance our causes, and particularly our limited knowledge of Selina and what makes her tick, we're in the middle of a valley of ignorance. And the Dorothy Donor, of whom we know everything, is dying. And she's not being replaced in vast numbers by similar Dorothys aging. Selina, who is very active, and actually spends a lot more money than Dorothy, is increasing in numbers. The difference being, whereas we know everything about Dorothy, we know practically nothing about Selina. Yeah? So, our challenge in the middle of the digital leap, our challenge at the end, of course, will be to know everything there is to know about Selina. Our challenge in the middle is to find a way to keep hanging on to Dorothy until she finally lemmings it off the edge, yeah? And squeeze every last penny and make sure we get the planned gift. Oh, planned gift! This North American term, we call it a legacy, yeah? You call it a planned gift. I tell you, I'm a planning freak, but the only thing in the world I'm not planning is my death. Yeah? My legacy will be the only gift I am not planned. Yeah? It will come as a complete surprise to me, as it will to the charity that gets it. It is an unplanned gift. Yeah? Unless I'm suddenly going to go to Switzerland and sort it out myself because I'm bored with my job. That's when it'll be planned. You don't get that joke, do you? About British people are not allowed to be assisted in suicide, but you are in Switzerland, so you don't have suicide holidays. Right? Where you take your partner takes you, gives you the last drink, but you've got to take yourself, says, cheers, it's been fun, then they pop back on the plane. It's getting so popular, they're going to start chartering flights. You believe it? I'd quite like to do that. Cool. It's the ultimate party, isn't it? You run out of excuses after a while. But we need to fill this gap. We need to hang on to Dorothy and get as much money out of her. But we really need to accelerate our knowledge of Selina and the technologies and communications that she will respond to and the things that she will do in order to fill that gap. Otherwise, we're just going to run out of money before we completely suss Selina out. It's as simple as that.